We're so glad you've joined us today. We have a wonderful guest in Dr. Gregory Jantz. We've talked with him several times now, and he's written a great book, Every Woman's Guide to Managing Your Anger. In fact, Dr. Jantz has written 25 books.
Yeah,
He is a prolific writer. I like that word, a prolific writer. And the good thing is he knows what he's talking about, and that's always encouraging. Greg, great to have you with us again.
Thank you.
Always a delight to talk to you, and I really appreciated what you said. I asked you, 25 books. Where do you come up with ideas? And it's actually from the things that you see coming through the center, your clinic.
What we see every day. Yes.
Wow.
So you're
good
really
stuff.
informed.
So it's reality.
It is
reality. Reality,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, today we're going to be talking, like you said, anger.
Yes.
Do you find that women's anger differs from men's anger?
Wow. Okay. Now, I'm stepping out on a limb, all right?
Okay, step out on a limb.
I'm a guy writing a book on women and anger, or angry women. Okay. This is another one of these big topics, because there are far too many angry women. Women do experience anger differently. I think, first of all, there's the pressures, there's spiritual expectations, there's all the time, maybe time pressures, there's the way culture treats women.
True.
There's physical pressures. And I think for women, many have been taught, of course, that it's not okay to be angry.
Right.
And so they've learned that anger tunnels down and it comes out different ways. We've talked about eating disorders. Anger can go, you can use food. That's where the anger went. There are some women don't even realize how angry they are. Anger can go into trying to be perfectionistic. The favorite choice of anger, though, for women probably is it turns into depression. So, and it really is true. Anger is, depression is anger turned inward. And that is true. So I think of women so often, they're more imploding inside, and it's coming out in different ways. Okay? There can be a lot of escapism behaviors for women they can do. And for men, sometimes we think of men dealing with anger maybe more explosive.
Yeah, they just blow up.
Now, women can be explosive too.
Sure.
There are female rageaholics as well.
Rageaholics.
Yes,
okay.
Rageaholics. Hopefully, you're not living with one, but they do exist.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, I didn't mean you.
No, I'm one that implodes.
I'm more the explode.
I'm the implode.
Yeah. Another way that comes out for women is through sarcasm. Through a woman can become embittered and make it's coming out through sharp jabs.
Wow.
If you have a person that overuses sarcasm, you got a person that's angry.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what are some unique reasons for this? I mean, is it a cultural thing? Is this true just all over the world? Women tend to be like this?
I don't think so.
Okay, so there's some kind of cultural thing going on here.
There are normal differences, obviously, between male and female. Some of this is learned behavior as well.
Right.
Yes. It also can depend on what kind of relationship you're in. If you're in a relationship that you feel that you're controlled by your husband, there's a lot of controlling and power behavior, and you're feeling very oppressed, you're going to end up being very angry.
Yeah, that's
but it's
true.
going to come out some other indirect way. Women are masters of anger coming out indirectly.
Okay, sort of a relief valve in a
Well,
way?
it's coming out indirectly through, it could be through passive-aggressive behavior. The woman smiling at her husband saying, yeah, you're right, honey, but she's getting him another way.
I see.
So is that what you call mishandling anger?
That would be, misdirected, mishandling, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I know we're kind of chuckling about this, but, here's the thing.
Probably because it's such an uncomfortable issue, though,
Well,
isn't it?
it is,
Yeah.
and we need to look at, as we talk about anger, I think you need to look at, how do I deal with anger? What did I learn growing up? Did I have a good anger role model?
Is anger always bad?
No. There's times that anger is just, if you've been a victim of abuse or you're being abused or there's injustice or you're driving down the road and you see something occur that's an injustice, there's reasons to be. There is such thing called appropriate righteous anger. Yes, but here's the thing. It's always what we do with it. it's okay to be angry. That would be a normal human emotion.
Right.
There's some governing rules that the Scripture give us about how to handle anger, as we all know.
That's right.
And so don't worry about being angry, unless you're constantly angry.
Yeah.
And then that's a problem. But there's always our responsibility is what we do with that anger. This is true male or female. It's,
Right.
What do we do with it?
So anger, can it be progressive in nature? Does it just happen, or is it progressive?
Here's one of my observations. Sometimes women have had situations that have been hurtful, wrong, and they've taken on an offense. Okay? And they can have years and years of just gathering offenses, layers and layers of offenses. And that hurt, and they've internalized that. And, you know, I had a gal in my office once says, "Why am I always so angry?" She knew she was angry all the time, but she didn't know why.
Wow.
Well, she had just been carrying offenses and offenses through, 20 plus years. Because she learned to take on offenses. So that's very, very common. And it's very destructive. Because that has a toxic effect on all your relationships.
I've seen that in counseling women. They take offense after offense
Yes.
after offense with their husband.
Yes.
But then there comes a time, I've seen that, like there's been a line drawn, and once he crosses that line, it's over.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen that?
I have seen that. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no talking them down.
No.
No, there is a breaking point.
Yeah.
There is a breaking point. Here's the thing about offenses. I think the offenses give the enemy really an ability to get a stronghold on it, because it really represents unforgiveness.
That's true.
So,
Yep.
Wow.
That really is. Yep.
So we know then that it has a progressive nature. It
Yes.
can build, and become worse.
well, and remember, I'm getting so full of anger, right? I'm so full.
Yeah.
It's got to come out somehow.
Right.
And so maybe I'm using these escapism behaviors. Maybe I'm using food. Maybe I'm being sarcastic all the time. Maybe I'm overdoing, watching TV all the time, doing escapism behavior. There's some interesting studies that have been done more along the line with bitterness and resentment. People have harbored unforgiveness, what that does to the body physically. So, yes.
Wow.
So it does have a physical ramification. Let me mention that. One expectation that women need to let go of is your bodies are going to change.
Yeah. Can't look like you did when you got married.
Well, and
Shucks.
and just chemical changes as well.
Yeah.
Hormonal things, and we need to just. We live with such high expectations that we're constantly frustrated, and we're constantly comparing.
Why shouldn't women get angry when life isn't fair?
Well, life isn't fair, and
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what? This is there's an expectation. Life ain't going to be fair.
Right, we live in a fallen
You know
world.
what?
Right.
We live in a fallen world, and things are going to happen, and things
Mm-hmm.
may happen to you. Here's the important piece, though. Don't become a victim of it.
Oh, that's good.
Because see, women can easily victimize themselves. Yeah, I was abused, and I live with a husband that's an emotional abuser, and you can go on and on
Yeah.
the list. And you're victimizing yourself. You're
Yeah.
living as a victim. Whereas, Christ has a different plan for how not to live as a victim. Your situation may be tough. There may have been some horrible things that happened to you. You have the right to be angry, but not the right to poison yourself and live in bondage of it. If you haven't been dealing with anger very well, and you've got bitterness and a lot of hurt in your life, you've got to look at yourself in the mirror and go, I haven't handled. Acceptance means I haven't handled this well. Things that happened weren't right, but I haven't handled this well.
Yeah.
I've not handled this in a Christ-like way. So you've got to be honest with yourself.
Okay.
Accept that you have a role in this as well. That's a hard one to get to.
Well, Dr. Jantz has written a great book, Every Woman's Guide, and a very courageous book, I might add, for a man.
Yes.
Every Woman's Guide to Managing Your Anger. We'll be right back to talk more with Dr.